All righty. Welcome, NorCal Sports Network chat. How's everybody doing on a Saturday night?
What's up, Necron?
Lots to talk about today. Why am I getting an echo? Oh, my wife is listening outside. Let me close the door.
Oh, look at that. Go AZ.
You know, I'll tell you, living here in Arizona, being a Giants fan, I would not even be considering pulling for the Rangers if it wasn't for Bochy.
Yeah, right.
But the fact that it's Bochy, and with Arizona in it, and I'm watching them, they're starting to grow on me even more, and I'm struggling to root against them because
You're a throwback team for sure.
I love the way they play the game. I love the fact that 4 of their starters are under 25 years old. It's the model the Giants should have been doing, and I'm almost hoping the Diamondbacks win it in a way, just because to shove it in the Giants' faces, because Farhan has had as many years to build this thing, and he's done nothing. Look at the guys that have been drafted by the Diamondbacks in the era that Farhan was in charge, and look where they're at, and look where the Giants are at. There's a big chasm. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And yet the Giants ownership continues they gave the dude 3 more years. I mean, what are they thinking? Why would you give a guy who's failed 80% of the time 3 more years? Let him prove it in a make or break it 1-year deal. I'm telling you, he was already signed this year earlier, and they just, they matched this all up to make it look like they're conveniently matching the tenure of Melvin with Farhan. So that's, I don't know. I mean, the Diamondbacks play a heck of a brand of baseball. They had 3 sacrifice bunts tonight, the most since 2011 World Series when St. Louis did it 3 times. You play ball, the Giants play for these big innings, and they can't hit, and they still play for the big innings. Why not just bunt the guy over? If you got a guy on first 5 innings in a row to lead off, 5 innings out of 9 to lead off, and you bunted him over, what happens if you got 3 out of the 5 home? That's 3 runs.
Exactly. And you know what it is? Tony Novello has trust in his players to get it done behind the guy who bunted. They
didn't strike out until Alec Thomas struck out in the 8th inning.
8th inning, I know. They struck out 14 times last night, and what is it? I don't know how many times. After the 8th inning, it was like, oh boy.
But, I'm just telling you that this is they steal bases, they get timely hits, and Corbin Carroll is phenomenal ball player. He reminds, who he reminds me of? Take a guess.
Who does he remind you of?
He looks a little bit like him.
Ichiro?
No, he looks his characteristics, his batting style, the way he hits. He goes to the opposite field. He just hits line drives. He hustles. He's fast. He's not a switch hitter like this man was. But I'll give you a hint.
Give me a hint.
I mentioned the word hustle.
Oh, Pete Rose.
Yeah, Charlie Hustle.
Wow.
Doesn't he look a little bit like Pete Rose the way he plays the game?
I could see where you're going with that. Yeah, I could see where you're going with that.
He slaps balls to left field. He slaps them to right field. He drills home run line drives. He's got power, but he's not a super power guy. I think he's got more power than Rose probably ever had.
Right.
But he's faster than Pete Rose. He's more gifted than Pete Rose, but he plays the game like Pete Rose. And I love his game. I think I heard all about him in the offseason last year, that Corbin Carroll's going to be the guy. And man, they drafted him out of high school after the Giants selected Hunter Bishop. But it's not like the Giants are the only team that passed on him. Like
Right.
15 teams passed on him. But, you know.
Diamondbacks get another draft pick next year too.
That's right, because he's going to be Rookie of the Year. Yep. And, you know.
Batting averages matter. You know, if
they do.
Anybody that's a regular on this show for a long time, all season in baseball, knows that all of us at one point have preached and talked and pleaded and begged that batting averages are just as important, if not more, than power. I took very special satisfaction in seeing Arizona beat the Phillies, because the Phillies are the epitome of today's baseball. Swing for the fences, whether you have no strikes, 1 strikes, or 2 strikes on you. And yeah, you're going to hit a lot of home runs, but you're going to strike out a lot in crucial situations and not get guys home. And that's not winning baseball. I mean, could you win a World Series like that? Yeah, sure. But what wins is defense, is speed, is starting and relief pitching, and clutch hitting. And Arizona has a very good hitting team. They're not going to put up a bunch of numbers as far as hitting balls over the fence, which I know everybody loves and it sells tickets.
Mm-hmm.
But if they win this World Series, teams are going to maybe start copying, because it's a copycat league in baseball, football, basketball. So we'll see, because Texas is another power hitting team, although Texas is a little bit better of a selective hitting team than the Phillies are. They don't swing at a lot of bad balls. So I think this is going to be a 6 or 7 game series. And I know
I took the Rangers in 7. I think it's going to go at least 6. I think it's going 7, the way this looks to me.
The way it looks, it doesn't it?
I know the nation didn't want it, and TV ratings didn't want this series.
After yesterday's game?
At all. But this is going to, nobody wanted the Giants and the Rangers in 2010. But, baseball's baseball. People, the purists that really love the game, they'll enjoy this World Series.
Yep. Hey, what's up, Al? A good point, real quick, to your point, Los. I don't know if you guys saw that tweet I sent. I think it sent the last week. Kyle Schwarber struck out 215 times this year.
Wow.
The great Nellie Fox, we're going back a ways. He struck out, I think, 216 times in 19 years. His total strikeouts was almost the same as Kyle Schwarber in 1 year. Just crazy.
Somebody mentioned something. I kind of was watching 2 things at the same time, but somebody mentioned the Diamondbacks didn't strike out tonight until, I want to say,
until the 8th inning. Yeah, Alec Thomas.
That is absolutely incredible. Nobody struck out until the 8th inning.
I'm trying to find Dusty Baker's quote. I can't. Who did I send that to the other day?
Think you sent it to me. Here, want me to send it
back?
Did
I send it to you?
Let me see if I can.
I'm looking for it. Did I send it to just you, or did I send it in?
No, I think you sent it. Or was it a tweet? I think it was a tweet. It was a tweet that you sent.
I don't see it. See if you can find it, or if
I'll be able to find it.
Or if you find it, just read it. It's hilarious. It's a great quote that kind of fits what we're talking about, the style of baseball. He pretty much ripped on the analytics and the swing gurus and the, it was classic Dusty. And by the way, Dusty has retired as a big league manager.
Great career.
Says he's got a lot to still give to the ball game, and he'd love to be a assistant, like what do you call those guys in the front office to help the
an advisor,
like an advisor to either the Astros or a team closer to his.
Does he still live in Sacramento?
Home. Yeah, to a team closer to his Northern California home, which is the Giants. But
after those comments that he made, I don't think Farhan or the Giants will hire him, although they should. He knows a lot more baseball than those guys do.
Wow. But anyway, let me just type this.
I'm hearing Bob Melvin's going to try to bring Matt Williams too. That'd be great.
I'm hearing that too. Yeah, I'm hearing that too. So
Old school Giants.
Yep.
Maybe Vogelsong is pitching coach. Who knows?
Yeah, I've heard some of that too. Yeah, I don't know what happened to that quote, but it went something like this. Dusty said, "I see you in with your launch angles and your swing, watching your videos," and he said, "Launch angle, exit velocity. Try effing hit, just hit the ball."
or exit hits.
Exit hits. Yeah, try effing exit hits and try. Oh, he was letting them have it, man. He was like, I think a lot of these old timers, they are so fed up with these young cats that have half of them probably never played the game. They just watch it on computer. It's like all these guys that grew up on Madden that, try and become a coach.
Yeah. I'm gonna find this damn thing.
Oh man, my God, good to be back.
So
yeah, I mean, just the old timers and the purists of the game. We know and we appreciate and love the game the way it's played for so many years.
Yeah,
they're trying to reinvent the wheel somehow, some way.
Wow.
That's why I'm not pulling for AZ because I live in AZ now. I'm legitimately pulling for them because I like very much how they play the game. That's just how I think the game should be played.
Yeah. So
and they trust their youth. They trust their youth. They let them go through ups and downs. There's nothing like we've said this on the show so many times. There's nothing like a young player knowing that you have your manager and your general manager's confidence. Like you have their confidence. I can go 0 for 12 and I'm staying in that lineup. I'm going to work through it. I'm going to figure it out because that's how life is. I'm going to figure out and I'm going to get better instead of doing an 0 for 12 and getting sent down immediately.
There you go. Exactly.
Yep.
So, yeah.
We'll be watching.
Yes, we will. So let's see. Lowe's, I'm with you. I want the Diamondbacks to win. Yeah. I mean, yeah. They're fun to watch. They are fun to watch. And they pretty much had this series up until, one pitch in the bottom of the ninth last night.
Right. That tells me a lot about that team, Dan. Like
to come back
like that,
to lose like that and come back.
Yeah.
And you're a young team. That should kind of demoralize you.
Oh yeah, that could tear a lot of teams apart. To come back tonight and not strike out till the eighth inning after striking out 14 times last night and blowing the game, your closer blowing the game. He didn't blow the game against pitching the ball to Seager. He blew the game by walking the leadoff man. That always seems to come back. I don't know why I don't know what the difference is between walking the leadoff man versus giving up a hit to the leadoff man, but it seems like the guy who walks always seems to score more than the guy who just got a hit. I don't get it. It's just one of those things in baseball. The baseball gods don't like you walking the go-ahead run or the tying run to put them on base free.
Boy, Arizona has a history. Do we all remember Byung-Hyun Kim blowing 2 games at Yankee Stadium in 2001 in the 9th inning?
Oh, yeah.
And they had the mental fortitude. Baseball is we all know this. Baseball is such a mental sport. Like to be able to bounce back after a game like that and not just squeak by, but smash Texas. That tells me a lot about this Diamondbacks team. So we'll see now. Texas is the favorite. We'll see how they respond in Game 3.
Yep. Mark Graves says, the coaches I'd like to see on Melvin's staff, Matt Williams, Will Clark, Vogie, Robbie Thompson, and Mike Aldretti. Yeah, that would be Aldretti
Jeez.
and Will Clark together after
That's
that
a reunion, pretty
Yeah.
much. I
You
don't think
know-
Will Clark will ever be an everyday coach. It's just I
Yeah.
could be wrong, but his lifestyle is so.
Yeah.
He likes his role as just being an advisor and going to minor leagues, and
Yeah.
he likes his lifestyle in Louisiana.
Give us your comment on this, guys. This chat from MF. What do you think?
Interesting. He says, I hate the new playoff. D-backs are a good team, but 84 wins shouldn't get you in.
Mixed feelings.
Yeah, I could go both ways on that.
It's such a long season, and to win so many games and just get out just like that is. But hey, that's why you play the game. I've
got mixed feelings too, because the last team to win a World Series with less wins was the 2006 Cardinals. Won 83 games, went 83 and 78. Only played 161 games. Ended up beating who'd they beat in that World Series? Was it the White Sox or no?
Detroit.
Who was that? Detroit? I can't remember. It was 06.
I know 05 Chicago won it. I don't know. Did they go back?
Yeah, no, they didn't go back. I think it must have been Detroit.
But all I'll say to that, MF, isn't that what makes baseball great, though? I mean, I hear a lot in topics about fans hating super teams, like when the Warriors were put together and Cleveland was put together. It was just like, why do we have a regular season? It's going to be the Warriors and the Cavs in the finals. They're just so much better than everybody else. Football, kind of the same thing. Like, we know who the 4 or 6 teams are going to possibly be in the Super Bowl and win it. Baseball is just that one it's such the equalizer. It does not matter what you do in the regular season. 5, 7, even 3-game series, you got to perform and you got to do it. So teams that win 84, 85, 87 games,
you really don't have to. You really don't have to win a division. That's why I would put make it more of a struggle for teams that get in the wild card.
There should be some reward for people who win the division, right? For teams that win the division.
Yeah, the 5 days off is a lot, because what's happening is the team they're going to face has just played 3 games. It's like you're going into a 5-game series and you've had 5 days off, and that other team's had 2 days off in between. They've had 2 or 3 games. They're rested and ready to go. I mean, not rested, but they're in a groove, which is what you want in baseball. You don't want more than 1 day off generally in baseball. 2 at the most.
Haruka makes a good point. I mean, we're not talking a Super Bowl. We're not talking about one team having a fluke and having everything go their way, like when the Vikings beat the Niners in 87. Chris Carter was catching everything. For 1 day, they were better. But if they played the Niners 7 times, the Niners would win 5 or 6.
Right.
Baseball and basketball, you play 7 times. 5 and 3 is a little more fluky. I get it. But, I could see them change the format to completely favor the team that won the most games and say, okay, it's a 3-game series. They're playing the wild card, and all 3 games are going to be at the team that won the more games. So what happens if that wild card team still beats them 2 out of 3? What are people going to say? At the end of the day, you just got to outplay the other team. That's what sports is all about. It isn't who is the better team on paper. It's who plays better
on a given day
or that week. And that's just the way sports is, so we can,
I kind of like my theory of my proposal. Get no days off if you make the playoffs and you're the 3, 4, 5, or 6. No days off. Or if just no days off. Go into Monday, play. You know what? If you made it on the last day of the season and you only won 84, 85 games, you didn't do your business enough in the 162. Now, if you have already clinched a wild card spot, and like you're the 4th seed, you got time to rest your guys the last series, you know? But if you're just squeaking in, you play Monday on the road and you get no days off, you got to win 2 out of 3 in that series. And if you advance, the series starts the day after you won. You get no days off. First 2 games are in the team that had the bye waiting for you. And it's on Thursday instead of, Monday, Tuesday. It's on Thursday instead of Saturday. So now that team has only had 3 days off, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. They're still in pretty good baseball shape with those 3 days off. They're not waiting 5 days. You get your first day off when you travel after those first 2 games. That makes it a tougher, when you go into the NC2A tournament of your conference tournament at the end of the year, you got to play. If you're like at the bottom of your conference, you start playing Wednesday afternoon. You got to win Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You got to win like 5 games where the top teams in the conference start playing Friday. They only have to win like 3. That's the way it should be. And you know what? When those Cinderellas make the tournament, they earned it. They won 5 games in a row with no days off. Try that playing basketball 5 days in a row. That's crazy. Baseball's a different sport. You could play it every day. You're not running up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down and exhausted, Baseball guys, they're resting in between innings. They're practically resting out in the field after each pitch.
Exactly.
It's not a demanding game like football and basketball. So make those guys win 2 out of 3, no days off. And that's how you fix, in my view, you fix the problem with too many days off of 5 days. You just went through 162 games, and now you're going to give 5 days off. Now, football, that's welcome. You want that extra week of rest. You want 2 full weeks in because your body's beat up and sore. And these guys play on Sunday, and I'll tell you what, I've talked to some of these guys. I remember playing, not nearly at that level. So just ramp up the soreness from these guys hitting you. They're not themselves until like about Wednesday or Thursday of the week. And that's why these Thursday games, they hate it because they're just getting back into getting the aches and pains out, so I just think that's something they could do. Will they do it? I doubt it. TV runs the thing, and it's all run by money, and TV dictates when the games are played. And, baseball's taking the money, They got to take the money because they can't just live off the attendance. If these teams, that's why the Giants or the A's, they could give a crap about people showing up because they're getting revenue sharing from all the other teams, and they're getting TV money. They sign these contracts, and, that's why the Giants owners, there's only a couple of them that are really interested in winning. Most of them are interested in the profits.
Yeah. Yep. Profits. You just said it. So per Jason B., TV ratings for games 1 and 2 are in the toilet per the report. So we got to be careful with this because I think I speak for every fan that's out there, no matter what sport it is. We want to see the team that plays better advance and win championships. When it gets to the point where ratings and money come into play.
Yeah.
And I've seen these conspiracy theories with football so much. Ray Lewis has to win a Super Bowl. We have to have Ray Lewis win the Super Bowl. We have to get Peyton Manning into the Super Bowl. We have to get Tom Brady into the Super Bowl.
So it's no longer about the sport.
Patrick Mahomes is the new face of the league because Tom Brady's retiring. He has to win the Super Bowl because it's better for ratings. It's better for the NFL. When that starts happening, if that's what we're pushing, then it ain't sports no more. It's wrestling. and me and Eric know
Oh,
about
yeah.
this. It's scripted.
It is. It's scripted.
Is that what everybody
There
wants?
is some script stuff going on in sports.
Yeah,
I hate it.
Is that what people want? Dude, everybody wanted to see the Braves and the Orioles, two best teams
Right.
winning wise. They should have been in the World Series. That would have been better for ratings. You know what? I know it's like money makes the world go round and round, but F ratings. They didn't win. They didn't perform when they needed to, so they're out. That's the way sports works.
That's the way sports is supposed to be.
Whether you're playing Little League, whether you're playing high school, whether you're playing JVs, whether you're playing varsity, college, pro sports, you play better, you win, period. Screw ratings. So I understand that, what Jason is saying, but if it gets to that point where Major League Baseball cares about its ratings, then they're going to be talking to umpires and saying, hey, you know what, you need to make sure like the Braves get all these calls. Is that what we want? I don't.
Nope.
I know I don't.
Yeah, we'll move on to football here, but I want to, before we get to the NFL, I want to touch on a college game I watched today with great interest because being, an interest in Cal, local, and my brother being there, I was so frustrated watching Cal today. They had USC up 43-29, up by
Don't tell me they blew it.
Well, you could tell where this is going. 43-29. They never beat SC. SC comes down, scores a quick touchdown, makes it 43-36. And then Cal's holds them and they punt. After Cal didn't move the ball, USC got it back. They held them about 8-9 minutes left in the game. SC punts. Cal's just got to take it down, score, maybe just a field goal. Guy's trying to get extra yardage, and he fumbles in like around the 20-yard line, their own 20. SC ties it. Now, I can't remember all the sequences, but then there was another fumble. Cal fumbled. They were on their fifth running back, Jaden Ott. I think he must have got concussed today because I heard the hit, and then he went out and he never came back in. But he had runs of 61 and like 53 or 55-yard TDs. He was like, Jaden Ott is going to be an awesome running back in the NFL. Anyway, after the fumble, SC scores again with like 3.5 minutes. Now they're up 50-43. Cal comes down and scores with 58 seconds left or something like that. 50-49. All right. They got 3 timeouts. And I'm thinking, okay, you're tired. Your defense has been on the field for the entire fourth quarter because you've turned it over twice. They might go for 2 here. They line up for 2 and they call a timeout. And I'm like, okay, you just kick it now because you only have 2 timeouts. And originally my thought was go for the 2. If you miss it, you got 3 timeouts. You can still get the ball back with like 45, 50 seconds if you stop them. But if you don't score, now you're forced to onside kick. And they missed the 2-point conversion, which there was a penalty. The guy was holding the receiver, clearly had his arms wrapped around him. You could see it. The announcers, it was pathetic. But it's that whole thing. SC gets the calls. So they onside kick. They don't get it. And USC runs the clock out, and Cal loses in the last game on the schedule between SC and Cal, 50-49.
Damn.
That's
that was a frustrating loss. And Cal, it's tough to win at Cal. I mean, let's just look at, they talked about it even in the game. COVID has really hurt Cal more than any program because it's Berkeley.
Mm-hmm.
It's berserkly. And And the game, believe it or not, got started late today. You want to know why the game got started late today?
Let me guess, a protest.
Yes, it's Berkeley. They had 12 clowns sitting on the field like people sit on the road and block roads when people are trying to get to work. Man, I would have just brought the machine over and just bam them. I'm going to be careful. Don't rattle my head, but jeez.
Easy, Dan.
I got to be careful.
Yeah, he was right.
I'm going to be careful. That could
do something.
That noise could shake my head a little bit. I got to be careful, man. But yeah, just get these clowns off the field. They let them sit there forever. Like, what do we do with them? What you do is you pick them up and you get rid of them. You move them off the field. They're not, yeah. So anyway, yeah. All right, let's get to the NFL. That hurt my head. It did, man. Dang.
Careful.
Yeah, I got to be careful. See what I mean? Let's get to Brock Purdy.
Oh, boy. Oh, yeah. That's a good segue, Dan.
Let's get to Brock Purdy. He may play tomorrow. I don't think he should because he got concussed he got his head bell rung.
Yep.
And you're talking about a young man's career. You're talking about the 49ers season. We saw what happened to Tua last year when he came back too soon. Man, my concussion's almost 3 weeks. I'm serious. That loud clap and yelling has got me a little bit. I'll be all right, but it's I didn't even have a blow to your head. But you can football, NFL, gosh, one fall, and you could be out. You get another concussion tomorrow, you may be looking at a month off.
Right.
And right now the 49ers have a chance to rest him and then go into their bye and
make sure he's 100%.
Make sure he'll have 2 full weeks of no contact. Man, 1 week. In fact, they played Monday.
They played Monday. It's less than a week. Yeah, exactly.
6 days, man. I would not risk, if he's your guy and he's the guy that's your franchise quarterback, yeah, most guys who get concussed when they're young, they bounce back pretty quick.
Let's face it, like as much as we love Shanahan and his X's and O's and everything, like he runs his star players into the ground.
Good. Yeah.
Christian McCaffrey was 60% with an oblique that still bothered him. He gutted it out. He played every snap. Like he did not hold him back. Mason got no carries as his backup. So now Purdy's hurt on a Monday. He has one less day to get ready. And concussions, as Dan said, is nothing to play around about. But you know what? I told the guys before we went on, if the Niners were 7-0 or 6-1, he would be set out. They can't lose 3 in a row, at least in their minds. So he's going to play, and it's a big risk because
it is.
Cincinnati has this kid named Hendrickson that can rush the passer. And if he's going to be on McKivit's side, you better keep somebody in to help him out because Purdy can't.
This isn't Purdy's decision, Eddie. Shouldn't be.
It can't be the player's decision.
This should be Kyle protecting his guy. And this is what you get a strong backup quarterback for, to play a game.
Yeah.
Coach, a manager, you got to protect your players against themselves because they're going to want to go out there.
Of course they are.
I disagree that Purdy's looking over his shoulder. Purdy has been named the starter. Shanahan has said he is unquestionably the starter for this team if he's healthy. Darnold is here probably on a 1-year deal. He's not going to be here after this year. He's here as insurance. That's it. He could throw for 375 yards tomorrow and 3 touchdowns, and people will talk it's going to be a quarterback controversy. Purdy's the guy. He's the guy unless he can't go. But obviously they feel that maybe they're going to have a hard time beating Cincinnati, who is a pretty damn good team.
Coming off a bye.
and Burrow's getting healthy, and coincidentally, they're on a bye. They've had 2 weeks to prepare for the Niners. Shanahan thinks that they can't beat them with Darnold. Doesn't have confidence. So
how about Trent Williams? That's going to be a key factor, right, as far as protecting Purdy.
Jalen Moore played good last week. Not a lot of people were talking about him last week. Was going to be the weak link. Didn't hear his name. Played well. So that was a big positive for the Niners last week. So you can play him again and give Trent now 3 weeks off, I believe.
Nice.
So I would play Moore again. So
I mean,
Niners D's got to step up. They got to get off their ass and start playing. I've been hearing.
I do think the D shows up tomorrow in a surprising fashion against
the Bengals have an average O line, and I've been saying this like all year. The Niners D line plays well against average to below average O line, so they will play better. When the Niners have trouble is when they play a good offensive line.
Right.
Like their guys just when it comes to line play, it's not about scheme. I'm hearing. I was away for 3 days. I was up in the woods. I had no internet, nothing. So I got back, and all I kept hearing was Steve Wilks. Steve Wilks is in trouble. Steve Wilks is being called out. So I started catching up. And, I know he had a bad call with that blitz before halftime. That was risk versus reward, not the best call in the world. At the end of the day, his players got to play better. They have to play better. Bosa's got to play better. When you're playing on the line, it's about you beating the man in front of you. And right now, Bosa, Hargrave, and Armstead are getting their ass kicked when they're playing against other better linemen right now. So I agree with Danny. I think they will play better because Cincinnati's O-line is. So we'll see. Let them win the game.
I was looking at Tim Ryan a little bit. I guess he's saying Cincinnati, they get the ball out quick, or Burrow does. I guess that's the way they scheme. If they
play zone and they lay off 8 to 10 yards, then it's going to be pitch and catch. It's going to be easy for Burrow.
Yeah.
Then if that is Wilkes' job, then play man-to-man. When you play man-to-man against Dallas, your D played really well because you let the pass rush get in. When you play soft zone, it's easy to complete balls. So if that's the case, then Wilkes does need to.
No, why? Why would you do zone instead of man-to-man? If it's that much of an advantage, is it just
He's not confident in their coverage abilities.
Gotcha.
Either Ward is banged up more than they think. Hufanga, as great a player as he is, he's not the best cover guy. He gets beat. And Gibson is solid, not spectacular. So I can't wait for these two young guys to come back, Luter and Womack. They're good cover guys. They
should have never got rid of that.
Deshaun Jameson.
Yeah, Jameson.
That was a bad move. They kept Ambry Thomas and stuff.
Bosa admitted not having a training camp affected. Of course it did.
There you go.
Guys just can't just show up.
Yeah, we're in week 8 now. Bosa's played. Okay, so he should have stepped up week 4 or 5.
That's what I figured.
Right.
Like week 4 or 5, yeah.
Bosa's problem to me is every year he comes in, he gets bigger and bigger and bigger. He's like a Hulk. He's like this physical specimen.
Yeah.
But when Bosa first was a rookie, he used power, speed, and he had great hands. When the offensive linemen got their hands, he would knock them down. He doesn't do that anymore. Watch him. Just watch him. Don't read or listen to Skip Bayless or all these other idiots. Watch the game. Watch Bosa. All he tries to do is, I am the strongest player in the league. I'm going to bull rush you. I'm just going to go.
Well, guys that just focus on getting their physical strength up, man, you're going against another strong dude. You got to use spin moves. You got to use your craft, your speed.
If Bosa gets back to that, he'll be fine. He's got to go back to being the Nick Bosa that came into the league in 2019.
I'll be right back, guys.
All right.
Yeah, his brother Joey should be talking to him because Joey and him play the same way. They have speed rushes, they have power rushes, and they mix it up. If an offensive lineman knows what you're going to do every single time, and
they can plan for it,
50 to 70 pounds heavier than you, you're a little easier to block. So Bosa's all right. He just needs to go back to being, I can beat you in a lot of different ways, Nick Bosa.
And let's not forget, he's getting paid to do the things that he did before this year. So he needs exactly. Like you said, maybe he needs to go back to where he was instead of getting bigger. Maybe he's losing some agility or something. Maybe technique is kind of going out the window and it's more about power. Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. He's losing his technique, Eric. He is. I'm watching him and he's just trying to bull run. The guy he played in Cleveland weighs 360 pounds and has a 7'6" wingspan. wingspan.
Whew.
You're not
going to get through him.
You're not going to run through him.
No.
That dude's a house, so you got to speed rush that guy, and he didn't do it. I'm a little more concerned about the other two guys. Hargrave started fast, and he's not beating his guy. And Eric Armstead he's becoming just a run stuffer, and he's not even doing that all that great. So Niners have some issues on the D line. Now, again, if they come out and they have 4 or 5 sacks tomorrow, everybody's going to say, oh, they're okay. They're all right. No, they're not. They're playing a pretty bad offensive line in Cincinnati. So this defensive line, the way it's playing right now, if it played the Eagles or the Chiefs,
get crushed.
The Lions, if they play the Lions right now, the way the D line is playing, the Niners might get dominated. The Lions, the whole line is really, really good. Jared Goff would have all day to throw. So Niners got to pick it up, man.
Now I noticed, Cincinnati, they both got the passing game with Burrow, and then they got T. Higgins. Who's the other guy? Who's the other big?
Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase, and you got Mixon as a running back. He ain't nothing to snuff at. So I mean, it's a well-rounded offense. But like you said, their offensive line isn't going to be the best, but they still have weapons.
I'm worried about Jamar Chase versus Ward. If they do a couple of double moves, Chase is really fast. Burrow's going to get deep. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting game. Niners need this game. They don't want to go into the bye with 3 straight losses because they're going to have to hear all the noise for 2 weeks now.
Yep.
That they're overrated, that they peaked too soon. Purdy's not the guy, blah, blah, blah. They need this win bad.
Wow. It's going to be like you said, maybe Shanahan is worried. Maybe that's why he wants Purdy. I mean, of course he's got a medically clear, so it's not like Shanahan's not taking medical advice. I think you have to go, and if he's cleared, I mean, you can play him, but at the same hand,
I think Shanahan will protect him. I think they're going to run the ball a lot. I think Mason will get some carries. McCaffrey's going to get a lot of touches. There's going to be a lot of quick throws, even more quick than they usually do. They're not going to Purdy get hit. I mean, if they're getting a 3rd and 12, 3rd and 15, Purdy's not dropping back. They're going to run a screen or a draw and protect him.
Gotcha.
I would be shocked if they put him in.
So you think the scheme's going to be a little bit different because of what Purdy went through on Monday?
I think the game plan's going to be different to protect him somewhat. He can't take another hit like that because then he's going to be out 4 to 6 weeks. Then you're talking about the season going quickly down the drain. Unless people have confidence in Sam Darnold, I don't know.
I would at least play Darnold for the first half, see where you're at.
I don't think that's a bad idea at all. Like if he's really struggling, then
and then maybe
bring in Purdy in relief.
Yeah, but if he's doing well and they're winning,
are you advocating an opener?
No, just
I know.
Phil Walsh did it with Young in Montana. Like if Young was a little healthier, he'd start Young, and if he started struggling, Joe would come in. But we're talking 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks. So.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
No openers in football, man. That's that's a negative word, man. I got the cross up for that.
So let's get to our picks. Okay. What do you think? Picks for tomorrow's 49ers game. What do you got?
Eric, you want to go?
Man, I don't know. I think it's going to be a close game. See, it makes me wonder who's here real quick before that. Who do you think is going to break out for the Niners tomorrow, offensively wise?
I could see McCaffrey having a good game.
Even with that, he's got a fracture, supposedly.
He played with it last week and did fine. I think he's probably better off this week, I'm sure.
I think Ayuk bounces back. He's kind of due to have a good game. He started well against the Vikings and kind of didn't really see many balls in the second half.
Look for Kittle to have a big game too.
Yeah.
You think is Cincinnati
Kittle over the middle tomorrow?
Is Cincinnati's defense kind of leaky, or is it decent?
It's not bad. They have a good pass rush, but if you can get time, their secondary is average.
Well, then I'm guessing it's going to be close, but let's see, because they're up against it. They don't want to go 0-3 in the last 3. How about I'll just keep it easy. How about 28-21 to Niners?
That's solid. I really try to bet with my brain, not with my heart. I really do.
Yep.
But I think the Niners are tired of hearing about that they're overrated. God, but just that 2 weeks off for Cincinnati worries me.
Yeah, that's.
I think there's going to be points in this game. I think it's a 30-24 game, Niners.
Okay.
30-24.
Like that. I'm going to go 24-19.
Ooh.
San Francisco. I think the defense shows up.
That's
tomorrow.
what I was just going to say. Yep.
But my favorite pick so far is Haruku's pick.
Dan is picking 19 for the Bengals, which means a touchdown and 4 field goals. So you guys might want to go pick up the Bengals kicker if you have a kicker in your fantasy football league, not ours.
I don't know why 19. I don't see 4 field goals. I see 2 and maybe
a missed extra point.
Yeah, something like that.
In that case, don't pick up the kicker if he's missing the next one.
I don't know. Their kicker's pretty good, though.
Yeah. Wemby wears sizes, what is it? 30, 72 jeans? Interesting handle.
30. Man.
I remember in the first game he came out and he looked like damn Jack Skellington walking out.
That's crazy. When I was in high school, I was like a 30-30. That was my my jean size. 30-30.
Wemby reminds us that McCaffrey has a streak going with fumbles. He needs to stop that. He's fumbled, I believe, in was it 2 or 3 straight games? 3 straight games, I think.
Who, McCaffrey?
Yeah, he fumbled against Dallas. He fumbled against Cleveland, and he fumbled against Minnesota.
Wow.
He fumbled at the goal line against Dallas.
That's right.
He fumbled in the red zone like 3 straight times. So
that's not good.
Protect that ball, man.
All right, so let me
gotta give Mason more carries. I don't know why they're so stubborn about that.
Yeah, I know.
He's a good back. He's physical.
Let's pull up.
The ironic thing is I keep hearing, well, Mason fumbles in practice. We're not going to give him any carries. McCaffrey's fumbled in the actual game. I know he's a superstar, but can we give Mason some love, please?
I don't know how we did on our picks last week. We didn't. I think Bora wrote them down.
Bora wrote them all down. Yeah.
Not here. All right, so let's go to our picks for tomorrow. We'll pull up the schedule. We got it. There we are.
Yep.
Okay. Who wants to go first?
I guess I could start from the top. We'll just start from the top down.
I think the first
Dallas versus LA. I don't know points, but I think Dallas is going to beat LA.
Yeah, we're just going off. We're not picking spread, just the winner.
Okay, yeah, Dallas for sure.
All right, and then you got the next pick, Minnesota at Green Bay. Wait. We got to do Dallas too. Forgot. I'll take Dallas myself. What do you got, Los?
I'm picking with my heart, not my brain. I want the Rams.
I know.
Don't do it.
I'm picking the Rams. I think, yeah, they got some weapons, and they might give Dallas a little bit of problem. I'm not sold on Dak Prescott at all.
Yeah.
Minnesota at Green Bay. Well, I'm going to pick Minnesota. Even at Green Bay.
I'm going to take the Packers tomorrow.
I'm taking the Packers. I think Minnesota has a letdown after beating the Niners.
Me too, yeah.
Okay.
But Minnesota is the better team, Eric, in case you wondered.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll take Atlanta at Tennessee. This is going to be an interesting game. It's going to be It's going to be an interesting game, but Tennessee has to win. They're home. I think they pull it off. Who's up next?
I agree. This might be Derrick Henry's last game with Tennessee.
Might be.
Oh, really? Talk about getting traded?
You know what? I am hearing a lot of noise about Derrick Henry to the Niners, which is very.
I don't see that. I don't
see that either with McCaffrey, but they're thinking they'll use McCaffrey more as a receiver. I can't see it, but who knows? I'm going Tennessee. Who do you like, Kurt?
Damn, Tennessee. That's what I'm thinking. I I got Pitts as a tight end. I'm thinking fantasy football here. Atlanta.
Go with your heart. Go with your
Okay, New
go with your
Orleans.
go with your pocketbook.
Yeah, there it
Go with your
is.
wallet.
New Orleans at Indy. That's going to be another interesting game too. Teams that fairly evenly matched in some ways, and both teams need wins. Indy doesn't play well at home.
They played really well against the Browns. They should have won that game.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to take Indy. They got to bounce back. I'm still going to go with Indy.
I like Indy too. Jonathan Taylor's starting to rev it up for Buster's boys and starting to play well. And New Orleans doesn't score a lot of points. So I think Indy gets them.
Yeah, I go with the home team. Let's go Indy.
All right. So, Los, you're up. You get the next two as the starter, New England at Miami.
Well, I'm going with my wallet, my brain, and my heart on this one.
That's a trifecta.
Tua and Tyreek keep doing it for the bad guy, Miami.
That's a trifecta. I got Miami.
Yeah, Miami. Yeah.
All right, New York at New York, Los.
This is going to be a very low-scoring game. Both defensive lines can get after the quarterback. Both offensive lines are not that good. I think the Jets are just a better team. I'll take the Jets.
Me too.
Yeah, Jets. Yep.
All right. You're up, Eric. Jacksonville at Pittsburgh.
I gotta go with my pocketbook. I got good old Trevor Lawrence and Kirk. Yeah, Jacksonville. But it is Pittsburgh, but I still say Jacksonville.
All right. I'll take Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh finally shuts.
You want that to happen because I'm playing you.
Shut those guys down. No, I got ETN actually.
Oh, okay. There you go.
I was going to say, if you have ETN on your team, you're going to be smiling a lot tomorrow. Pittsburgh gives up a lot of yards on the ground. So I like Jacksonville.
All right. Philadelphia at Washington. Whose pick is that one? Yours, Eric?
Philly. Philly's going to beat Washington.
Washington almost beat them the first time. Those division games are funny.
Yeah.
They match up very well against Philadelphia for some reason. Philly just had a big win against Miami. I like betting against letdowns. I would definitely take the points, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say Washington wins the game.
All right.
Who do you like in that one, Dan? Who do you like in that one?
I'm going to stick with Philly. I'm hoping Washington wins, but I'll pick Philly.
Yeah.
For Niners' sakes, you hope Washington,
Yeah. Houston at Carolina. I guess this is my pick. I'm going to take Houston.
Yeah.
On the road.
Eric, who do you like?
Yeah, I think Houston. CJ Stroud's been playing really well, huh? Better than expected, you think?
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to pick an upset here and take Carolina because Stroud has been the better quarterback. Remember, he went second. Bryce Young went one. I think Bryce Young is tired of hearing about how much better Stroud is than him, and he plays a really good game. And,
steps up.
Carolina with the upset.
All right. Cleveland at Seattle. Tough
That'd be a
game.
good one.
Man, I want Cleveland to win this game.
Deshaun Watson's out again.
Yeah, I just think Seattle pulls this off somehow. I can't. Who did I? Let me see. Wait a minute. Let me see who I picked in my other poll, because I should be consistent with what I picked in my pool. Let me see what my picks were. Okay, my pools, my picks. Okay, weekly pick 'em. Let me see. What did I take? Okay, I took Cleveland. All right, I'll stick with Cleveland then. Maybe that was my upset. Kind of, not really an upset, but yeah. So far, I've picked everybody I said I was going to pick.
You're staying with Seattle?
No, I'm gonna go Cleveland.
Eric?
Seattle.
I'm going to go Cleveland because I think their defense was embarrassed last week, giving up 38 or whatever it was points to Minshew. They are a top defense. They bounce back and play really well, enough to beat Seattle.
Even in Seattle, and Seattle's a tough place to play.
Seattle's home field has not been what it used to be. They're their defense gives up a little bit, and I just like Cleveland to bounce back here. Yeah, some of it is heart, definitely. I don't like Seattle at all. Is it on me now to pick?
Yeah, Kansas City at Denver.
Oh man, come on.
I mean, this is like such a mismatch on paper. God, Denver sometimes plays KC a little tough, but I can't pick Denver.
Yeah.
I can't.
All right. You got Kansas City, me too.
Kansas City.
All right. Baltimore at Arizona, Los?
Baltimore. Baltimore's playing really well, especially their defense. Yep. And Arizona's just kind of in a shambles right now.
Yep. Ditto.
Yep. Baltimore.
All right. We move to me, right?
Yep.
Cincinnati, San Francisco. Already took the Niners. Yep. Take the Niners.
Yeah, I think all three of us did.
And Chicago at the Chargers. I took the Chargers.
Yeah, Chargers.
Los?
I've been talking about the Chargers all year long, and their quarterback not playing up to his potential. I think the Bears get him. The Bears upset him.
All right. And Monday night.
Oh, man.
Who's up?
I guess, is it me?
Yeah.
Detroit.
Yeah, Detroit.
Yeah.
Unanimous. I picked up Detroit's D on this in my other league on defense, hoping they can shut down the Raiders.
All right, there we go. All right, and we close out that. Have we had any? Did we? Oh, we should have looked at the college football scoreboard tonight. Observe any games of interest late. Oklahoma got upset by Kansas today.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Kansas wasn't even rated, right?
No.
It's a rivalry game.
Georgia Tech in a shootout beat North Carolina. UCLA was playing Colorado tonight. How did that? 28-16, Colorado lost again. Yeah.
You wish Bora did not get traded. I believe he just had a 19th birthday, so he's doing what 19-year-olds do, having fun with friends.
Exactly. Did you see Deion's son got thrown out of the game for targeting?
Oh, no, I didn't see that. No.
Put a shoulder right in the guy's head.
Ooh. Am I barely see that. Wow. Well, interesting. That's about all we have for tonight.
Yeah.
Covered some baseball. Got our football picks in.
Yeah.
The Niners. So, yeah, we got everything.
You doing a show tonight, Eric?
I don't know. I don't think so. Nothing really big has transpired since last night. Still, the ground defense is still going on.
Haven't seen Will B today.
No, you know what? I haven't even heard from him either.
I called him before our show went over. I was trying to reach him and left him a voicemail.
Oh, you know what? I think he went and visited his uncle. I think he said he was going to do that this weekend. So he might be with his uncle.
Eric, are you guys focused on Israel and Hamas, or do you
just right now? As far as just like the military conversations, right now we're kind of just focused on that. But I'm willing to talk about when people come to the chat.
Ukraine? Do you talk about Ukraine and Russia?
Yeah, we get into the Ukraine. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And then, matter of fact, on my community, if you guys go to my YouTube page, if you go to the community tab, I put a couple of polls out there just to kind of put it out to people. You know, is there a certain era that you guys want me to talk about? So yeah. I'm open to anything. So
if you have a topic and call me or text me and let me know ahead of time so I can plan it. If you have ever any topic, because it is history, you're talking about history, not just current events. If you ever have anything about JFK's assassination and conspiracies, let me know.
You know what? We could get into that.
I have a lot of opinions about that.
As far as conspiracy, I mean, there's conspiracy theories with Pearl Harbor. There's conspiracy theories with, of course, JFK.
Big time. A lot of things. Bay of Pigs. That could have led to a damn World War III. Yeah. There's a lot of history to talk about for sure. So
there's a lot of people saying the stuff going on in Israel is a little bit more hotter than it was even in Cuba. It's pretty interesting.
All right, everybody. So make sure you hit that like button. Make sure if you haven't, I see a few new people in here tonight. So thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed us chit-chatting about baseball and football like we do. Always want to entertain you guys. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, and verbally tell people about NorCal Sports Network.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, definitely do that.
We will here and there talk about Warriors basketball. You'll see a thread for it, and we'll talk. We haven't forgotten about Golden State 1-1.
Yeah, big win the other night, huh?
They got some work to do on some things. I can talk about that, but that's for another night. So,
yes, Matthew, Ryan did pick up the team.
You want to give him a arrivederci, Dan?
Yep, arrivederci.
There we go. All right, guys, we'll catch you on the next one.
See ya.
Woo!